Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. Ladies in Red, 1 year on. I can't believe it, but a year down the line, we're still here. We're still doing the shows, still having a laugh off camera. We've just been giggling anyway. You know what it's like. Positive vibes. Bank holiday Monday. The sun is out. Girls are all smiling. Obviously, I'm going to introduce guests. Start with you, Nat. Nat, thanks so much for coming on again. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, so thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
Absolute pleasure as always, Nat. And like we said, and Nicole tweeted earlier, some of the ladies have been out, so yeah, we are very merry this evening. You've probably said in the chat. Meg, looking very radiant there, being on holiday. How are you doing?
I have. I've not stopped all week. I mean, it wasn't exactly a relaxing holiday, but it's an amazing week. A sunny bank holiday, which we just mentioned, like not usual. Nat's nodding ahead because Nat's had sun and prosecco. So, but yeah, other than that, I'm all good, and I hope you are too, safe.
I'm doing very well, thank you. I'm off work for a week, so I'm absolutely buzzing. The weather's topping that off as well. And of course, we've got the lovely Nicole. Nick, how are you doing? Like I say, looking so radiant and smiling, and that's what I love to see. How are you doing on this fine bank holiday?
Okay. I'm enjoying the sun. I'm enjoying like the last drops of the golden hour here. Don't mind me. As you know, I've been out. If Jay's in the chat, Jay, say hello. It's this fault that I'm a bit merry, but no. But it's just, you know what's really nice, just to see everyone out there and hugging and the people together again. And 1 year ago today, obviously we're here evening now. 1 year ago today, it was a Sunday morning, and we was all sitting. I was sitting right here with a coffee, and now I'm sitting here with a cup of tea. For some fun.
You know what's funny, Nick? You talk about like you were where you were sat. Obviously, if you followed us for a whole year, you'll have seen me dotted about my house. I've returned to the original place. We're back in the bedroom to mark the 1 year anniversary.
I love it. I love it. Smart dog. Talk about Ladies in Red, and we're going to talk a bit about the journey. I remember speaking to Meg firstly. Obviously, me and Meg play football together. Obviously, good friends off camera. At this point, I didn't know Nicole or Nat, and I remember saying to Meg, I really want to start off. Obviously, I've been on United Stand and stuff like that. I've done myself, and the reason I set up Hairdryer Treatment is because I felt there was a gap for women in terms of talking about football, punditry, and whatever. And I thought there's a gap on YouTube. There's not many female channels out there. And I wanted to just make it a community where really females didn't feel under pressure, didn't feel like they were going to be judged for sharing their opinion on football. I wanted it to be welcoming. And I have to say, the chat, obviously the community that we've built here, you girls, Natalie coming on, joining us, Emma, I'm not going to forget Emma, Zara, Nicole, Meg, this team for me is just fantastic because we don't try and be anything else. We're just football fans who want to talk about football. We're females who aren't afraid to share our opinion. And yeah, I did not expect it to have the following that it has had. Obviously, the positivity. We've got our own little branding going on. We've got merchandise that's been sold and whatnot. I couldn't have dreamt it getting this big. And I just want to say a big thank you to all you ladies and everyone in the chat for the support because, like I say, this is a community that I feel that we've built. And yeah, I mean, Meg, do you remember when obviously we posed the idea of Ladies in Red at first? I mean, trying to even think of a name for it seemed to take forever, but it's been a mad journey.
It is, and I think it's not just us, sat here talking and everyone in the chat joining in. Obviously, this for us, we've obviously got a WhatsApp group. Sophie and I have spent hours afterwards, trying to design backgrounds and sitting on YouTube and not on live, but seeing if it works and what doesn't work and trying to think of ideas and topics and note taking. All of us take notes on the game, so that we're not just sit here talking out of our arse. We know what we're talking about. We obviously research it. And it's just nice to be able to come into a community like this where we can discuss. And I think we've always stood by the fact that we're not a group that would just throw something out there so extravagant that we don't believe in, but we want to say it to get seen. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube, and I feel for us we're very grounded and we get everyone involved, and that's what it's all about, isn't it?
Definitely. Get everyone involved, like you say, Meg. We just want to share our opinion, and you know what? I think the big part of football, and that's why we love so much, is the fact that everyone's opinion is different. And I think on certain communities, you feel a bit afraid to share that opinion. I'd like to think that Ladies in Red, obviously, Nat, I'll ask you to talk on that in a minute, but coming in, I'd like to think we've built a good community. Nick, have you enjoyed the journey so far?
Yeah, I have. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but I was terrified. I'd met you once, Sophie, at the It was then the FBAs, it's now the FCAs, I think, at the Etihad.
Yeah.
And I was 9 months pregnant out here with our Ryan. Ryan's just turned 2. That's how long ago it was, I've seen you. And I think I just tried to pay you off at first. I was just like, no, I'm not doing it. And you was like, no, Nick, like it's going to be really laid back. And I was like, no, I'm a writer. Like, I don't want to put my mug on there and say the wrong thing and show people up. And then obviously, Emma sent me a text like, oh, I'm doing it. And then I just felt a bit more at ease. Obviously, Emma was someone that I knew, a friend of mine. And then you two just like welcome in with open arms. And like Meg was saying before, we all have like our role. It's not just like, oh, it's Soph's channel and we come on and we do what Soph says. Like, for example, just to do this show today, I've been in the WhatsApp group with Soph saying, oh, I've got this idea, blah, blah, blah. And then Meg's very much a secretary. Emma's still very much one of us. And like, we don't forget like the journey. Yeah. And then obviously Zara, like when she's coming in and out as well and stuff like that. And then obviously Nat coming, every one of us plays a part. So I think it helps that we're like a family. And like you say, I think being able to disagree respectfully helps. I think like, especially like as women, I feel like we can go, yeah, well, that's your opinion and that's fair enough, but here's mine. And we don't take it as offense. We don't use it to like, you know, make it into a pantomime or make crazy headlines. We just say it as it is, our opinion. Always look for the positive. And I've gone from being absolutely petrified to come on, and now I'm like every time I'm just buzzing to do it now with girls that I call friends, really. So thanks for pushing me, even though I didn't want to.
Absolute pleasure, Nick, and I'm so glad that you took the plunge to do it, because I think we'd all agree that, Nick, you've gone like from strength to strength. From that first show where you're proper nervous, like to now, like you just you're a natural at it, and look, we always saw the potential in you. I'm just glad that, like you say, it feels like we're the perfect family, the perfect clique. And last but not least, obviously you've joined us recently. It's been an absolute pleasure to get you on. Your energy just rubs off on all of us, like especially with our feel good vibes. Like it just matches the theme of our show perfectly. But how have you found it? And obviously you would have joined Ladies in Red when it had already been going for a little bit. So what was like your impression of the show, like from the outside looking in?
Yeah, I mean, I've spoke with you, Soph, I think hairdryer treatment, and it was about like the women's team starting off, and then I think you and Meg came to a game at LSV and just trying to help you, make you feel comfortable at LSV and make you feel part of sort of the atmosphere and everything that we're building. And you know, you do great on your channel, and I think outside looking in, I thought, oh, that's a great channel. That's someone like, you know, I was surprised that you even wanted me on in a way, like, because, you know, talk about no, I'm being serious because, you know, it's a great channel, and I'm just honoured, privileged that you want me on to come and talk, to not just add my opinion on the women, but like hear my opinion on the men as well. And I just want to thank you guys for welcoming me in. You know, I met Nicole. I used to speak to you a lot on Twitter, Nicole, but then, you know, having you on here and then meeting you at the ground recently, and it's just, like you say, it's a family, it's a community. You know, and obviously when everything's sort of getting back to normal, we're all getting out again, you know, just to see you girls back at ground, you know, whether it's women, men, or anywhere, home, away, you know, I can't wait. And it's onwards and upwards for this channel, you know, couple more years, and if I can be part of it, I'm really thankful that you've welcomed me in. Absolute pleasure, Nat, and of course you're part of it. Like I say, a great addition to the team. This is something now that I feel like we've built the platform that we can really push on and build on. And it's no secret, obviously, we've got commitments, we've got work, we've got, obviously, kids that are going on, and obviously we try our best to be consistent as we can. And I think for us now, it is about pushing on, isn't it? Because, look, we've got a great following, a great community. Yeah, we just want some success to celebrate. And we were hoping that today's show would be celebrating, obviously, the fact that we've done a year. We're also celebrating that Europa League final, and we're going to have to talk about it in a minute, because we haven't spoke about it since it happened. I don't think I've barely spoke about it to anybody since it happened, if I'm honest. I've kind of avoided the subject, but we're going to touch on it in a minute. I'm Blue, thank you so much for the super chats. Congratulations on 1 year, Maguire gang. Yeah, that was one of the best little puns I came up with, Maguire, definitely. Maguire gang, we'll take that. Thank you so much for the contribution. I'm Blue, and we always see you in the chat. Thank you so much to Doug, one of our fantastic moderators. Make sure you go and subscribe to the Dugout as well. So congratulations on 1 year together, ladies. Have a wonderful evening, and let's get you to 15k too. Thanks for trusting me to be a moderator. Absolute pleasure, Doug. Thank you so much for your continued support. I'm sure me and the ladies are all so grateful. And we always, like I say, see you in the chat as well. We see the regulars consistently, but let's get the boring stuff and the sad stuff out of the way. Nick, I'll get to you. Obviously, you were at Hotel Football. I'm going to come to you first because you said the atmosphere was absolutely booming.
Yeah.
Sum up that final. What happened?
Right. I think, first of all, what I realised afterwards was I never prepared for us to lose. Like, usually I'm always quite balanced, but I think I had it that much set in my heart because we hadn't got to a final, and I had it set in my heart that it was meant to be, kind of thing. I didn't prepare myself to lose, so I think I was just in shock. So anyway, yes, I went to Hotel Football. The atmosphere was electric. It was meant, just to see old faces, see new faces. We are a big family, aren't we? United. We are a family. We might bicker sometimes, but when it comes down to it, everyone wanted the same thing. And then I remember the celebration when Cavani's goal came, and I was like, right, this is our night. We're going to do it. And the penalties. Oh my goodness! Like, if you would have seen the state of me, I was on the table, under the table, spinning round. I looked like I was having some kind of mental breakdown. Well, I probably was, but you know what? When you just feel that pounding in your chest, and like every single one of them just seemed to take an eternity, and then it was our turn again, and I was just like, no, I can't handle it. And then, of course, like, to be honest, as soon as I seen Dave stepping up, I thought, that's it, it's gone. No disrespect to him, but I mean, bless him, he couldn't save one, let alone score one. So and then, like,
you can have when he's down, Nick. Go on.
I love Dave. I love Dave to bits, but I knew, you know what I mean. Like, I'm a positive person, but as soon as I seen him step up, I thought right, because I've lost count of the penalties at this point. I'm thinking blinking neck, and then that once that happened, the pain. Like I said, I hadn't prepared for it. I don't think anyone. Well, I can't speak for everyone, but I think we was that excited for it. And we didn't prepare for failure. We didn't prepare to lose. And I was just absolutely, it just went from like here. So I was gutted. I was heartbroken. I'm not going to.
There you go. There's
You know, that's not true at all. Thanks for today, mate. But yeah, so it was just like literally just from way up here to way down there. And then I think I just went into shock, and then I needed a drink and to drown my sorrows, really. But I mean, it's heartbreaking. It is what it is, and like you were saying, I couldn't really speak about it. I couldn't even write about it. I think I only did my piece like 1 or 2 days ago because I just couldn't. How could I find the words when I couldn't even express how I felt? Do you know what I mean? I think we was all just like dumbfounded by it. It was ours to win. And we lost it.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I still can't really find the words to comprehend what happened. I remember I was on the Don Robbie's channel. And having to sit and react to those penalties was the toughest thing, I think. I was speechless. Like, genuinely, Robbie kept looking and asking me, and I was just like speechless. I didn't know what to respond. I was a bit like, but I'll be honest, when we kicked off and the way that we started, I knew we were losing that final. When you just get a feeling.
What did I say to yourself? What did I say to you the past few weeks? This is what I was worried about.
Yeah, nothing seemed to fall our way, even like the little ricochets and stuff, it seemed to go to them. And you just feel like it's just one of that, it's just not going to go for us. It's just not going to go for us. And we have to be honest, we weren't good enough to win. Villarreal defended really well, and we simply didn't do enough going forwards to break them down. I think that the issue, we just weren't at it. We weren't firing, and it just felt like it was one of them days. But to get all the way through to the final, and like you say, for it to be a penalty shootout as long as what it was as well, poor Dave must have been thinking, it's not going to come round to me, surely you're not. Like, you'd never expect to have to take a penalty as a keeper, so I don't put any blame onto him as such. I think that he could have done better in goal, but I'm not a goalkeeper, so we might comment. But what I do think
at the same time, it should never have gone to. It should never have got to penalties.
Exactly.
So
yeah.
It's a domino effect.
I completely agree. It shouldn't have got that far. We weren't good enough, simply, and I think when the momentum was clearly with them in extra time and going into that penalty shootout, I think we all had that gut feeling. But Nat, where did you watch the final, and how would you summarize that?
At my house, I didn't go out. I just wanted to watch it at my house, and I think that was the best thing, to be honest. So I watched it at my house, and we just didn't look up for it. They wanted it more. They won it, and it's heartbreaking that you can sit there and say that they wanted it more. I think, I was like Nicole. I thought there's no way we're not going to win. There's no way we're not going to win. I'm the most positive person, and I thought, we've had all these semi-finals. We've finally got through to the final, and he's been there. Ollie, when I say he's been there for a while, and it's his time. It's his time to prove. And I'm devastated. I don't know what to say. I mean, some of the I don't know why I didn't make a sub. For me, I was on a little watch along myself on All for United. I know that's a channel that I go on, and I go on this channel, and I try to do just generally different things. And we were watching it, and we said, why isn't I love Rashford. I want him to do well, but it's clear he has been carrying something, and he stepped up and took his penalty. But why did Mason come off? It's just these little things. Why did Mason come
even
off?
now it's still so raw, isn't it?
It's just, And why are they making more subs? Why aren't we, freshening it up? They look better in the extra time because they had made subs. And we're just looking at, we're just making subs like 60th, 70th minute. And I just, but then you look at that bench, who does he sub on? But that's not an excuse for me. And I just...
Someone like Mata could have come on for me.
I think was it the fact that Ollie wanted to see what Emery did in terms of, okay, you play your hand, because we had to go, the pressure was on us, it wasn't on them. So I feel like if we'd have played our hand first, Emery would have just been like, okay, I know what I'm doing on this. And I feel like, for me, I think it was the fact that Ollie was like, you play yours, and then I know what I'm going to do afterwards. But it just didn't work, did it? It was a risk that didn't pay off.
I think for me as well, like, in terms of the sub things with Ollie, I don't know about you guys, I've always said Ollie in, and I'm not saying Ollie out now, but I do think he deserves criticism following that, because I don't know if he's thinking this 11 that I put out there should be good enough to beat Villarreal, which I agree with, but it's almost like he's just thinking, I don't want to change it, I don't want to risk it, because one of these players have got a moment in them. Someone like Rashford, we've seen it several times, he ain't been performing, but he's got a moment.
Sometimes you have to risk it.
Exactly. Sometimes you have to just risk it and go for it. And I think for him, it was a fear thing. I don't think he felt like he could bring someone like Donny on or Mata on and that would improve it. I think he knew his strongest 11 was out there. And he thought, there's going to be a moment in this game. There's going to be something from one of these players. And obviously that moment never came. But as a top manager, at a top team, can you really be that one who's just waiting, hoping that something is going to happen? Like you say, Nick, I think sometimes you've got to bite the bottle and just go for it and take that risk. And I do feel that it was a bit of a fear thing from Ollie. But like I say, I'm not sitting here saying Ollie out, but I do think that's something that we should be learning from. Like we've said, tactically, he needs to improve, and we said substitution-wise, he needs to improve. And I think that the final kind of just proved that, really. I mean, would you agree with that, Meg?
Yeah, I think, like, I will say, like how Nick said, like, it's still so raw. Like, if you watch the All or Nothing on documentary with Spurs, and Mourinho's in his office, and he gets up and he just turns the telly off and sits back at his desk. That moment, after the day after, honestly, every time it came onto the radio, switched it off. On the television, switched it off. What I will say, actually, was one thing that I wanted to mention earlier, is I do have a friend that works at Villarreal named Lucy, and just say congratulations to her, because she's in the backroom staff there, and she does an amazing job. So congratulations to Lucy and to Villarreal on their achievement, for their history makers for them. But my God, did it hurt the next day. It hurts. But I think it just epitomises our season, that we were so close but not close enough. And I think if we're going to move on to the, looking at our season as well, like when we were joint top and we were top of the league, nobody put us there at the start of the season. No one. Sophie and I did a preview show this season, and I was like, the others Man City's, then Liverpool's, and then our target was never to win the league. I think for many of us it was to just close the gap. Nobody ever thought we would be in the position that we were. We were in the Champions League. Nobody put us to ever win that. And I think when we fell into the Europa League, that's when the pressure started. And I think just the whole thing epitomises our season, that we were close, but still so far off. We didn't cross that line on the Premier League or in the Europa League.
Yeah, but in lighter subjects, City was so close, didn't quite cross the line as well. Let's talk about that Champions League. Chelsea win, and you have to say they deserved it. City were awful. I thought, like, Nat, did you watch Champions League final? And were you expecting that? Because I think a lot of, obviously, United fans were dreading the idea of the thought of City lifting that trophy, and yet again they've failed.
Yeah, I mean, I think I watched it from about the second half, or I saw the goal. Oh, I don't even know. But I was happy. I was happy that they bottled it. In a way, it's sort of like us. All the expectation was on them to win. Yeah. No one thought about Chelsea. I mean, I seen a video just today, and there's one City fan going, "Champions of Europe, we know what we are," and all this, and I was a bit confident. I was saying someone, I remember, I saw that, going champions 2021 and all this, and I just think, I suppose it's karma, it's come back and bit you. They were laughing when we lost, and now we're laughing they've lost. Chelsea deserved it, but Chelsea have beaten them like 2-3 times this season, so there is that blueprint there. We've beaten City, there is that blueprint against Pep. They are a great team. He's a great manager, but I think it is sort of, once you know what you're doing against them, it's kind of simple. And if you do it, sit low block and all that kind of thing, you will get joy and success. And as long as you take your chances, I mean, God, there could have been 2 or 3. There was a couple of chances. Pulisic, I thought, tie it up there, lad. But, I'm happy they won. I mean, I didn't really want them to win, but if you had to say one or the other, it had to be Chelsea for me always.
It was the lesser of the 2 evils, wasn't it? It was the best situation really we could have hoped for. Nick, did the City result cheer you up a little bit after our disappointments? Obviously, they were laughing at the fact Bruno was crying, and then I've seen so many pictures of De Bruyne crying and saying that's what you get for laughing at Bruno.
Yeah. Oh, when I seeing that tweet saying that it's a player you can't feel, you have to feel for. No, he's not. Now he's not, hon. I cannot watch him cry all day. First of all. Anyway, next minute, what was I saying? No, because it does my head in though, because it always seems to be like these tweets are just like the other week it was Suarez, like a player
where's
that everyone
that come
loves.
from?
I'm like,
are
you okay, hon? Is everything okay at home? I'm so confused. Anyway, I'm not ecstatic that Chelsea won, but I'm happy City lost.
Yeah,
simple as that.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? I can sit here as a United fan and say, do you know what? I am heartbroken, but we've won the Europa League. Brilliant. We've won the Europa League before, and more importantly, we've won the Champions League before. Not everyone can say that.
It says Patrice Evra, Shitezri by singing Oasis.
Yeah.
Class. So you might win it when I'm 90, didn't he, or something? Yeah, class. I love this game. Evra, do not change.
He said, I've got more trophies, I've got more medals than your whole club's got trophies. And I just thought, that's my guy.
What a guy. What an absolute legend. Yeah. We're going to get on to, obviously, more lighter subjects now. We've discussed the Europa League, discussed, obviously, City winning. Got some questions to ask. Nick, I know you've got a few light-hearted ones as well. I've got some linked to the season at first, but mix them in. Guys in the chat as well, get your questions in. I've got a few on Twitter and stuff as well that were sent to us that we will read them out. Well, my first one is quite a nice one. What is your favourite moment of the season? Meg, I'll start with you on this one. What was your favourite moment this season?
There's a few, but I feel like for different reasons. I firstly want to mention the fact that the fans went back into stadiums, and I feel like that was just a massive moment, not just Manchester United, but just as a whole. It was so nice to hear the ball hit the back of the net, and then that split second, and then the roar of a crowd. That kind of moment, I think, tops anything. But as a Manchester United fan, the Bruno free kick against Liverpool that knocked him out of the cup, so good. Like, it was coming towards the end of the game, and it just happened to be Bruno, didn't it? And it was just, I think, I was reading the stats about Bruno, about all the Manchester United players and who made the most successful passes, etc. And Bruno just topped so many of them in terms of attacking wise, and one of them was free kicks, and it was just that moment to saviour of Bruno and a free kick going in.
Yeah. Nat, what's your favourite moment this season? Your happiest?
Yeah, I want to.
The Alisson winner.
No.
Not for us, but I can understand from Doug.
Yeah. Definitely like fans being back, the thought of like fans being back for next season, all that kind of stuff, normality returning. But I think for me, I saw one that said beating Leeds, and I did like it when Scotty scored and then he pushed his head down. I really like that celebration. But I think as well, beating Southampton 9-0 for me. I think, we're at a point and people were saying this and that and we'd lost, and then bang, 9-0. Like, I think it's like people just sort of were underestimating us, and then we won 9-0. And I just think that was a really good moment for me. I was really happy about that. I know then there was little hiccups still after that, but I think for me, scoring 9, we're not a bad team if we can score 9 past another Premier League team, are we? So for me, that was a really good moment.
You know what's mad though? Southampton in 2 consecutive seasons have lost 9-0.
That is crazy.
That's crazy. Like, that's one stat I wouldn't want.
They didn't just announce that the manager was being sacked straight afterwards. They've stuck with him.
No, Hasenhüttl. It's happened to Hasenhüttl twice.
Yeah, but they've still stuck with him, and I just feel like fair play to them, because
I like him though. To be fair,
if Ollie lost 9-0, his head would be on a shopping board, not just by us as fans, but like by the board.
Yeah.
You know, he came out and faced the cameras. He's faced the fans since. So fair play to a manager like that.
That was actually a highlight of mine. The clip of Alex from Anfield Agenda, Craig, sorry, from Anfield Agenda, when he's obviously laughing at us the fact that we lost to Spurs, and then that happened in the following game against Villa. Like that moment was bittersweet. I love that as well. But Nick, what's your favourite moment this season?
I think, like Meg said, you have to say as a football fan, just seeing the fans back in the stadium, and like, you know, at one point I actually I was like, oh, I don't, the fake crowd noise. Let me put the channel, and I was like, no, it's not fake crowd noise, it's real. And I was like, oh my god, my heart. I also think, knocking Liverpool out of the cup is up there, obviously, and the way in which we did it. I also enjoyed beating City. I'm not saying it's the moment of the season, but no one expected us to beat him. And I remember we was on this predicting it, and everyone was going, oh, I don't know. And I was like, no, we're going to shock everyone, and we did. I enjoyed that. And probably just getting to a final. It would have been so much more magic if we would have gone all the way, but I think we can't deny how happy we was to get to a final before we would know how it ended. So that's up there too. I think it's one of them. There isn't really a standout one because we didn't, sadly, we didn't win anything. So it's hard to just pick one, and that's on us really. So there's more like a multitude of things.
Yeah, mine is actually the same as what Andrew said. I wasn't there, unfortunately, but the fact that the fans were back in, Cavani had just signed his new deal, and the game, obviously, the result wasn't ideal, but the scenario where Cavani scored that lob, with the fans in there for the first time.
I'm so glad
those fans are in there to witness that. The fact that it was Cavani as well after his deal, I don't know, I think that was just a real class moment.
Wasn't it? Like that.
Yeah, it's just everything about that goal.
Ollie had said to Cavani about, you know, stay, because you need to hear the fans when you score at the Stretford end, and lo and behold, that's what he does, and with that kind of goal as well.
Yeah, that one.
And it's so beautiful.
That's always in actually. Would you say that's goal of the season, or do you guys have a different favourite goal? So for me, that Cavani lob, or the Bruno one against Newcastle, where we did a little counter attack where Donny played a part in it, and he's whipped it into top bins.
That for me was a proper United goal, if you know what I mean. A proper through Manchester United goal.
But it's the overlap on Rashford getting in, and Rashford's played him in, and he just put it. Yeah, that goal.
Any of them two do me.
The one where is it against Everton?
Everton.
RS one.
And he just stands there. Those ones kind of stick out to you, don't you? I think the Cavani one was brilliant, though. It was brilliant.
Pogba against West Ham, and
the celebration.
Pogba against West Ham, I think for me that was that was just world class. And even was it Pogba versus Villa, world class as well, and versus Burnley. Pogba just a lot of his goals absolutely just
most of them
out of nowhere and just bang, and you're like, whoa, how did you score that?
So you see more of it. That's it. More of it.
Magic.
Yeah, I saw a little clip of him in training for France today, like pinging balls as well, and I was thinking, this is the Pogba we want to see. Where were you in the final, Pogba? Come on. It wasn't just him, though. I'm not singling him out, because I just think across the board we were poor. But yeah, I'm not mentioning that again. Meg, actually, someone asked earlier what kit you're wearing. That is the PSG fur kit. I was going to ask the girls, what is your favourite kit this season, and that could be from any league. My vote is the one that Meg is wearing. Like, that kit for me is just class. I love it.
Beautiful.
I like the tie-dye theme. It's beautiful, isn't it? So mine...
But this is why this channel's so good. That wasn't even planned. I popped up, we logged in, and then she's like, oh my god. She's like, the question's going to be, which is your favourite kit, and you're sat there wearing it.
Dun, 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 dun.
I knew. I love this kit. I had to get it. I feel like it's the party kit of the season, isn't it? Like this one's
nice kit.
This one's the party starter.
PSG aren't partying about much, though. That's what I will say. PSG aren't celebrating much, but yeah. I think the PSG one is probably my favourite one, to be fair. What? Any standout kits for you, Nick? Nat?
Talking of kits, I've got a question. Well, it's about us. Right, so obviously, when the zebra kit came out, even though I'm a right hypocrite now, because now it's a bit of me, at the time we was all sitting there going, it's a mess, never going to wear it. I think I sat there saying we're galloping across the pitch, like the state of us waffling on. But I was going to ask you, which one of us said this about the zebra kit, that we got it to try to hypnotise the opposition? Who said that?
So,
ooh, is it me?
Not your guess, and then I'll answer you.
Sophie.
I don't know.
You, Nicole.
Yeah, I'd say Nick.
The answer is Soph. Meg was right.
Right.
I said we'd be galloping off the pitch, and Soph said we're trying to hypnotise the opposition.
Oh, yeah,
I
remember you saying.
Writing them down.
I remember you saying a comment about it. I remember, but I can't remember who said the hypnosis.
Because we was all sitting there bitching about it. Right contradiction, little gift, that right?
It's definitely a grower, isn't it? It's a grower.
It was a grower, not a shower, girls.
Yeah. I was going to say as well, no money went to the Glazers. You know, zebra kits, by the way, girls did it. We're just going to confirm that no money went to the Glazers.
Be careful,
before people
because, you get into trouble for that thing, so...
Yeah.
No comment.
Lawbreaker, thank you so much for the super set. Congratulations on your first year, ladies. It's been so much fun. No agenda, just pure football chat. Thank you so much for your continued support, Lawbreaker. Always see you in the chat, and I appreciate, obviously, the contribution as well. Thank you so much for that, and I hope you're enjoying the show. The PSG one's got to be my favourite kit. I think all the PSG kits this season have been nice though. The white one as well. I like the old school looking night tick and stuff, but that one for me. Nat, what's your standout kit?
I don't know. I think the Arsenal one was alright. I know, like, it's not. I like our black one, our black away. I'm not mad for the zebra one. I'm not mad for it. Sorry.
You're still not, right?
I'm still not. I don't mind it now. I'm okay, but I'm not like, oh, I really like it. I'm just. Yeah. I'm happy to see it go.
I think when we all seen Beckham in it, we all went, hang on a minute. Once I seen Beckham in it, I was like, that's when I started biting my tongue and eating my words, I think.
Yeah, that did change a lot of people's opinions, though, to be fair. That changed a lot of people's opinions. I think the other one I'd probably say is the Ajax. I think it was was it away one? Or the third one, like a grey coloured one? And it was like flecked. Yeah. I thought that was a nice kit as well. That's probably the other one that was up there for me. But yeah, that's zebra. I can't. So I said that I was trying to hypnotise the. It shows that you say that much stuff on here, you don't even realise.
We're trying to hypnotise. No, I know. That's what I mean, because I didn't think that you'd guess that was you. That's why I picked it. Yeah. Any mods in the chat, if you could obviously stop that people are trying to troll us as well. Appreciate that, but we carry on, we move. Good job, you are not on your own this time, Doug. Appreciate that, James. Thank you so much for that. Allow the spamming, exactly. But in terms of Nick, you mentioned the zebra one. I remember us all saying, "Oh, it's horrible what we're doing." I think it was because, if you remember when it's first advertised to us, you had the stripy shorts and the stripy socks. Yeah. And we were all saying, if you wear it with plain black or plain white, it'll look better. And obviously, we do that. So, but even then, we wasn't over the moon with it. We was just saying, if it's with something plain, it won't be that bad. I think it was just the way that it was portrayed at first was just absolutely horrific. And I just couldn't ever imagine myself wearing it. And then it like broke me down. To be honest, I think every year there is that one kit that you always say you won't wear, but you do. But I can honestly say for next season, I won't be posting anything advertising them or nothing, because I think it's really, really important. Anyone in the chat who's been glazed out, I think it's really important we do not get, with all these rumours going around, that we don't get too lost in that and then we forget about it and go backwards, because this is the most progress we've made in 16 years. So I think please remember, even all this Sancho stuff and look at this new kit, please remember the bigger picture. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, I agree with you. Forget. So we we've said, obviously, Ladies in Red, we're not going to contribute in a single penny, and we suggest everyone in the chat do exactly the same, and we stand by that. So people asking us about the new kits and stuff. I like the look of them, but like Nick says, we'll not be buying them. I think the new kits look pretty smart, but I'm not going to buy them. Zoe said, happy first birthday to the Ladies in Red. Always love listening to you girls. Big up yourselves as always. Thank you so much for that, Zoe, and thank you for the contribution as well. Congratulations to you, obviously, Chelsea fan winning the Champions League as well.
Congratulations.
But absolutely buzzing. I bet you're still celebrating now, and like I said, congratulations to you. Like, we obviously wanted Chelsea to win at the two. We wanted Chelsea to win, so yeah, celebrate and enjoy that. I'm sure you will, to be fair. A lot of talk today about the S word. Meg will know what I'm talking about when I say that. A lot of talk about it. Yeah. What do we think? Is it going to happen or what? Do you guys?
This is the worst deja vu ever.
I will remind people that we had the tweet that he was on the plane last time. The tweet was there. He's on the plane. He's flying to Manchester right now. So he wasn't. He's sat at home in Dortmund. You know?
I was out here on these streets saying there was smoke near Old Trafford, so they're obviously doing his photo shoot. Shut up, well, stupid.
I remember that.
Stupid. I was like, this is it. And I remember, I think it was the seventh day of the seventh something, and I was like, it's going to happen at 7 o'clock because it's number 7. It didn't happen.
90% club. Do you remember that trending? 90% no.
Oh, God.
What are you thinking? Sancho, yes or no? Is he coming?
You know what? It's just one of these that they do it to hype you up to, oh, it's so close, everyone's getting buzzing. And it's like what we just said. There's no point, like, in a way, even if I think it will happen because I think, can't not happen, but who knows? But it's like, yeah, be buzzing, congratulate the lad, but then I suppose just keep it and know that we're still fighting a good fight.
Jay just texted me the answer to Jay's question is yes. Sorry, carry on. He's trying to cut me off.
But I think, I think it will happen, but I think it's just sort of, it should have already been here, and they're just playing us along. And I'm seeing other clubs just, already making bids, already done. Whereas we're so close, and it's going to happen, 90% done, and he's on the, it's all this bluster around it. Then when you say, where's the actual bid? It's
nowhere.
Yeah,
this is the most unimpressed I'm going to be, like no matter what I hear, I think I'm just that accustomed to being let down by, like men, like when they say, like when a man says he coming, right, no, right, just let's get to the next bit. But you know what I mean? Like I'm so sick of like, for the final thing and like not getting the end result. I need to think about I'm wording this. But basically what I'm saying is I am unimpressed by false promises until finishes. Right, you know what? Someone else goes to the next part.
Clip that.
New words aren't coming out right. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. I've read on this Sancho thing today. Apparently he's agreed personal terms, but like Nat says, there's been no official bid. But if I'm honest, truly these personal terms were probably agreed last season when there was, like you say, there's so much talk about him joining. Apparently the player wanted to join. It was just a matter of agreeing the fee. We didn't want to pay the 100 million that I spoke about. So I don't think anything more has happened yet, to be honest. I think it's the usual, use United's name. It's going to sell stories. And I always say this to people, do not get sucked in. Until you see them holding up the shirt officially, not these Photoshop ones as well, because there's plenty of them for Sancho last season as well. But if you see them holding the shirt, then you believe it, because I don't want to get sucked into it, because it's just mind-numbing, especially when you're a United fan and you link with every player, left, right and centre. Like we've already mentioned, the Sancho talk was going on all last season as well. Like for me, those personal terms were agreed last season. He wanted to come last season. Yeah. But obviously we couldn't agree the fee.
I think we hope for the best, prepare for the worst. I'm not expecting anything because we always get let down, so I'm not expecting anything, and anything that we do get is a bonus. Yeah.
Guys, if you are new, please hit the sub, like you mentioned there, Curlers. We are 14.9k, it's moving. We're getting closer to 15. If you guys could hit a like on the video and obviously hit the sub button as well, I'd appreciate it. And big up to Curlers as well, another mod in the chat. But yeah, Sancho, I'll be happy if he comes. But for me, there's other positions as well that we need. In the final show that we need another centre-back, another CDM. Kanté, by the way, how good is he? I'm not saying we're going to get Kanté, but I just want to touch on
just like what an absolute gem of a human being.
I'm so happy for him. So happy for him.
What a gem of a human being he is. You hear the stories coming out now, like not even football related stories, but just genuinely seems like a nice guy, and deserves to win on the basis that he turned up at a birthday party when he was 20 for his first birthday party with a box of chocolate. Just give him the Champions League medal for that. Just give him the Champions League medal just for that story. Give him the Ballon d'Or as well, by the way. That is a serious comment. That one. That's a serious comment.
Well, didn't he get man of the match in the final? In the both legs of the semi-finals as well.
Good on him.
I swear he did. What a play. And people were saying he was washed in that. He's just proving people wrong, honestly.
Honestly, Ballon d'Or for him. And that's a dead serious comment. I said earlier, we don't exaggerate things. That's a comment I stand by. The guy
Modric won it, so why not?
She's being serious. I've got a question about a quote that Meg made. Obviously, we're talking about a completely different player now, and I'm not going to tell you who this player is, apart from at some point they have or do play for Manchester United. This is a quote from Meg, and I want to see if anyone can guess or remember who she's talking about. It's not anything bad. I know it's not anything bad. And you said it just shows the kind of character that he is. He has never given up. Who was she talking about?
I know.
Do you know? Right, see if anyone else can guess then.
Luke Shaw.
Oh, no, you throw me with that comment.
No. Rashford.
No. Lingard.
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Okay. Oh, no. I just thought he said has played.
Yeah,
Now I
has
understand, yeah.
or does. So he said just shows the kind of character he's never given up. So when you was talking then about the character, I just thought I'd shove that in.
Just, and that proves my point by the fact that I don't just make crap up and talk about it. I know exactly which player you were talking about straight away. I live and die by my comments.
So I was thinking
I know
Luke
you
Shaw,
do.
because I was thinking if you were talking about his injury and the fact this about the season,
Yeah.
and his and I was thinking
Yeah.
maybe Luke Shaw. But yeah, Lingard makes sense. What's going to happen with Lingard?
Yeah.
Matt, what's going to happen with him?
He's going to have a lot of suitors, isn't he? And I think, I know that people might think, oh, bring him back to United. I think he's a great player. I love him. But I think the fact that he couldn't get in anyway, you know, he's had to go to West Ham, got a lot of game time. But, you know, I'm hearing Spurs, West Ham. I think, yeah, we're going to sell him and hopefully get a good fee for him. Maybe get, you know, I know there's Declan Rice and swap and all that. Who knows, you know? Who knows? Something like that.
The only thing with that swap is that I feel like with West Ham, they have a very strong midfield connection. So like Rice, Souček and Lingard. I think West Ham are sat there thinking we don't really want to get rid of any of these players because they connect so well to obviously Lingard. Their hope is probably to bring him in, obviously he's on loan, but to get rid of Lingard if he goes back and then get rid of Rice and just left with Souček, do they replicate the kind of season that they've had, losing two of their key players in that team?
Yeah.
So I don't think they'll swap them out.
Yeah. Lil Coco, thank you so much for the super chat. Says if France wins the Euros this summer, Kanté should definitely be a contender for the Ballon d'Or. Him or Lewandowski should win it this year. Yeah, I agree.
100%.
That would be a fairy tale complete though for him, wouldn't it? That would seriously
have you seen
be
the checklist of what he's achieved? Like he's pretty much achieved everything in his career.
Yeah.
Mad. Fair play to him, but if he could get another World Cup, and obviously France for me are one of the favourites. They should be up there as well. To be honest, he should be up there for the Euros. I think them. Who would you say the favourites are for the Euros going into that? Like from the outside looking in, obviously England we got a good squad, but we never had to put us up there as favourites because we always seem to bottle it at some point. France have got to be up there, haven't they? But who else? Portugal, yeah. Portugal have got to be up there.
But I think it just depends who shows up. You're saying that we have got a good squad there.
It's how it's executed as well. It's how it's executed.
Yeah, that our players are very talented, but can we play as a team to the final? That's what we can we manage it well? And then that's not just talking about Gareth Southgate. That's talking about players on the pitch. And if you are here, and I'm just gonna put myself here, I have put a tweet out about which 7 players don't make the final 23-man squad, and it's interesting to see actually who's being picked and who's not being picked. Because when I talk about being managing that team, there are so many young players going, and they're so exciting, these young players, but haven't got that experience of the tournaments and the pressure of these tournaments and the balance that you've got to find. And that's very similar to Manchester United. Like, we haven't got that experience behind us sometimes in that final that we've just had to take us all the way.
Yeah, that's what it is. I think with England, it's a bit like United. Like, you don't know what team's going to turn up. If we turn up, we know that we've got the talent in there to do it. But can we turn up game in, game out? We can't be inconsistent and have like one good game and then the next be absolutely dreadful, for example. We've got to have a run of games, haven't we? And I think that's something that we lack with England. That's something that we need to improve on. But like you say, if you look at on paper, if you look at our squad, no doubt about it, it should be up there competing. No doubt about it. But it's interesting to see because I saw some rumours today that Trent's not going. I think Ward-Prowse was another one I saw. And Greenwood. I saw quite a few United fans kicking off that Greenwood's not going. Nick, how would you feel if he missed out? I mean, I when I was on Doug's channel, I remember, and we did a squad, what we thought would be going. I didn't put Greenwood in that squad because I just felt like
in a selfish
since what
way,
happened,
at least he'll be okay for us.
Yeah, true. I agree with that, and I wouldn't be kicking off if he didn't go. I think it would be nice if he did go, of course. But I didn't look at Greenwood and think he's definitely on that plane. Do you know what I mean? I just never really got the impression that he's up there with Southgate. He's rated that highly by Southgate. He isn't that experience, as we mentioned. But on current form, you have to say he has been playing well for United. He has been. He's been scoring as well, to be fair. So it'd be interesting to see what happens. But the rumours are apparently that he isn't going. I want to talk about pundits a little bit. Who would you say then? Because obviously Michael Richards has been introduced, Roy Keane more so this season as well. Like, who has been like the standout pundit, or pundit should I say, this season for you?
Jamie and Gary.
Yeah. for what they did for the old Super League and the protests and stuff as well, I think they were both superb throughout that whole ordeal.
I mean, I already love, like, let me try and get this word right, the camaraderie between them. Do you know what I mean? Like the laughs and the banter and like that kind of like mutual respect, but you also know that they're being serious, like their mutual hatred for the teams, but more importantly, like you say, for them to at the forefront of it, to put them the neck on the line and be against it with every single one of us. And also when Jamie Carragher, when he was talking about the Glazer out protest, and he was saying, actually, no, even though he played for Liverpool, like if you actually go back and have a look at United fans, they've been protesting when we were successful as well. So I've got a lot of love for him for that. That is very true.
I'm going to shortly ask you who the worst pundit is in your opinion, and I'm pretty sure there'll be a lot of votes for Souness on there. But Nat, like when you're watching obviously Sky, BT or whatever, like do you have a favourite pundit or one that you look forward to?
I think like what Nick said, Jamie Carragher, the respect I had for him just went up like that when we had them protests. I wasn't his biggest fan, but it just rocketed up. But for me, I think Keno, just when he says it, you know, for example, when we played City and we drew, and I know like some people might get upset, but he's like, you should be hugging, you should be see that thing, think I was hugging anyone, you know, it's about the win and all this kind of thing, and it's like they don't understand. And I just think, I know like it's not that era anymore, but I just love it because it reminds me of like that passion. And I remember watching Keno, and, you know, old school, and that's what I think I am a bit. So that's why I definitely would say Keno. But you know, I agree with this. I think Alex Scott, she's top quality. She don't get enough parts. Obviously, female
job. Go on, girl.
Yeah, 100%. She deserves that. She'll still get stick for it. Shouldn't, but he's wrong. But she's doing really well, and I think her name should be up there as one of the best.
About her.
Yeah, I remember. Like, Meg, you'll probably be the same as me, Nat, you as well. Obviously, being a footballer growing up like Alex Scott, I remember watching her playing. I would never have imagined that she'd have gone on to be a pundit as highly rated as she is. And I know you say she gets a lot of stick, but I think she's also really respected because I think she's like paved the way for women. Like I definitely see her as an idol through what we've been doing on here. Like she's someone that I definitely look up to. Her and Laura Woods for me, paving the way for women in the sport. And I just think massive credit and congratulations. She deserves that football focus.
I remember London 2012, I went to go and watch the women's football. Alex Scott was my favourite player at that time in terms of women's football, and waiting after the game to meet, just in particular, I met the whole squad, but just to meet her because I was just so in awe of the way that she played football. And now she's gone on and just been like, okay, that was one part of my career, and using the platform that she's got to not only as a female but as a female of colour in mixed race and bringing that with it as well, and she gets stick all the time. So it's like a double whammy for her that she is she's living the dream, isn't she? And
it was a pinch me moment, right? Talking about Alex Scott and like how she's an inspiration, it was a pinch me moment, like when I was on Football Focus the other week, like you know when it pans back to the studio, I was on the screen and it panned back and then it had Alex Scott there, and I just sat there and I thought, oh my god. And do you know what I mean? It is like a knock-on effect, and I really, really, really hope that we have that same effect on younger girls watching us. Obviously, I don't play football or run for the ice cream fan, but do you know what I mean? I really, really hope that like that feeling that she gives to me, I hope that we give that to younger girls and our daughters, Meg. Do you know what I mean? So they can have that same buzz, because I don't know, it's just a really nice feeling to be up there with them kind of people.
That's what it's about, though, isn't it? That's why we do it, because we want to get girls involved. We want girls to feel confident and comfortable to go and talk out about the sport that they love and not be afraid to do it and feel like they're going to be judged for that. And I think spot on, Nick. We obviously have our idols who we look up to, and I hope that there's others following in their footsteps and our footsteps as well. But a lot of people saying Handsome was a good pundit. He was, to be fair. My least favourite has to be McManaman for me. Souness is up there, but McManaman, like literally, I have to mute it. At least with Souness, I can kind of laugh at the bitterness. But with McManaman, like it's just it roils me, like how biased he is and stuff. Like he's one that frustrates me. I don't know about you guys, but that's the one that grates on me. I
just want to drop in the fact that you girls didn't mention it, but and you know that he's one of my duo. But Rio Ferdinand on BT, I absolutely just love him. I just love the fact that he's still got the same passion he had as a player. He brings into punditry. So absolutely love him. But
Rio.
Yeah, Rio for me though.
And Mike, to be fair, Mike Richards is good as well. We mentioned him earlier.
Yeah.
And Roy Keane.
Yeah,
like
and he's
them
so
two are
funny
coming
with
good,
it.
yeah. He is. I saw him on League of
Can I
Their Own
just
as
the
well.
job
He's just a
that
funny
they
guy.
do? They actually, to give them all props, they make it look so easy to be able to speak like in such detail, but also to have a laugh as well. Honestly, it's like the people that sit there. Trust me, it's harder than it looks, and they're doing it on the teller. So fair play.
Yeah, definitely. It made me laugh the one that Roy Keane said when I think it was the protests and people were throwing stuff, and then Roy Keane said, to be fair, I think they were throwing that at Jamie Carragher, not at anyone else. Like, it made me laugh. He's just so dry with it. Like, his sense of humour is class.
Comedy timing.
Absolute class. Yeah, it's just quality. If you could think of, then we're going to rain off the show shortly, but if you could sum up this season with one word, what would you girls give it? So for me, I'm just going to say inconsistent. I think that sums us up to a T. We never know what United is going to get. So for me, it'll be inconsistent. But any ideas from you? I'm not going to put anyone on the spot. Don't jump in if you've got one.
I'm going to bend the rules a little bit. I want
Here we go.
Words. Yeah, sorry, I want 2 words. A sour ending. Well, 3,
yeah.
but just drop that A. But sour ending because I had one gin, honestly. Sour ending just because I feel like the whole just the Europa League final, and yeah, we finished second. We've just missed out there as well. So, but on a whole, we have moved. Oh, I've got another.
Second half, Curler said. That's a good one.
I was going to say Comeback Kings would have been in the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Nick, any ideas?
Ending.
Sour ending. Megs?
I'm going to say one word, contradictive. And what I mean by that is the highest of highs, your 9-0 wins, and your lowest of lows coming out the FA Cup, losing a final that I thought was our destiny to win. It was literally a massive contradictions in that. Like, in the high moment, it's that kind of like when we talk about the impact that football has on our mental health, when we're walking around with a big smile on our face, do you know what I mean? And then there's the heartbreak moments, like now we're still reeling from. So I would say completely contradictive. Yeah.
Plateau FC. It's an interesting one. Nat, any ideas?
I feel like it's going to be too positive for some, but I will still say progress because, we've got to a final, so we've broken the curse. I know we wanted to win it. I know it's painful. I am disgusted. I'm hurt. All those kind of feelings. Like sour ending is one that I definitely agree with. But I still think back-to-back Champions League, the first manager to do it. We need to and I know it's not a trophy, it's not everything, but we still need to show it a bit of respect and say thank you. And we've got us there. There is a consistency, even though we're a bit inconsistent. So I still will go with disappointing, but progress. I think and I think I've got to be a bit happy with it.
And just on that, we're talking about obviously we lost that final, by the way. The Pep, who is slowly but surely gonna be up there with that conversation of best manager ever, lost the final this year. He lost the final as well. And I know finals are just that one-off game when you've got to get it right. But we talk about Ollie out, but Pep lost the final as well, and I don't see Pep out trending. And
he did win the league, though, to be fair.
He did win the league, but he had the exact same pressure, I think, as we did. We both went in as favourites to that final.
I don't think people care as much about City as they do about United, and that's not me being nasty.
True.
I'm saying in terms of there was a lot more stories about the Europa League final this year than there was about the Champions League final. And like I said, I'm not saying that in a better way. I'm saying that in general, it was like City won the league, and then the next day it was just like, all right. If United had just won the league, it would be insanity.
Yeah, streets will be shut down, mate. Shut down.
Gardens off me, no?
Yeah.
I remember seeing that guy. Did he have a saxophone or something? And then I tweeted dozens of City fans that cracked me up. The word dozens just got me.
Yeah, me and Nat seen him, didn't we, Nat?
Yeah, he was at the protest. He was at the...
Yeah.
He wasn't even a City fan. He wasn't even a City fan.
And not even hundreds. Because you
Oh.
can get away with dozens and less than 100, but you can't say hundreds of City fans turned up.
There was more United fans on the pitch.
Yes. More fans turn up to all our protests, not just a big one, but just even like the one before that and the one on a Thursday night, you know, when we did play Liverpool finally, you know, more people were there, and there was thousands, wasn't there, Nicole? There was thousands, and it was like a Thursday night at like 6 o'clock, and there was so many people.
Yeah, despite what you see in the negative side, to actually be there, the vast majority, the atmosphere was immense. It was like a match day.
Compared to it was like a match day for 6 years.
It was going to Ascot.
Yeah.
It was just the same. It's the same match day.
Hello.
Bless them. We're going to take some quick questions off Twitter. These are from the ones that we had, obviously, when we did a tweet. So the first one's from Adam. He said, if you had to be stranded on a desert island with a player or players, who do you think would make the best raft to get you back to civilization? That's quite an
There's
interesting
only one player I'd want to be stranded with, and it would have nothing to do with civilization. I would take Edison Cavani and I would give it to him and watch him score another goal.
Yay!
Nick, that's like that. What's that show? Take Me Out, and you have to do that line.
Yeah, that's
why did you get picked?
No like it.
Honestly, I'm applying you for the show next year. That's it. You're on.
Me?
Oh yeah, you're up there. If you got lines like that in your bag, you need to be on those.
I don't argue with you, Meg. Anything Meg says, I'm like, yeah.
There could be some rough riding.
Rough riding.
You know, it reminds me of wait.
Choppy waters, mate.
Swinging through the trees. I'll be Jane. I'll be. You know what I mean.
Meg, who you choose to be stranded with? Are you going Cavani as well?
Well, I think Cavani's taken in me.
He seems to be.
Try me.
Who am I going with? I mean, Bruno's the assist king, isn't he? So we could make a great team. I'll go with Bruno. He can assist the raft building.
Okay. I thought you'd gone with Maguire, that rock at the back, to defend you.
No, the rock sinks. Rock sinks. So his head would just like... Nah.
All right. Nat, any ideas?
Wan-Bissaka, mate. Nothing gets past him. Yeah, nothing. So he needs to do it.
Yeah, but he might struggle going forward. As in off the
island. Maybe.
To be fair, you could use his legs to help secure the raft, though, or he could just spin with his legs.
He's got McTominay because he's hard.
No, I thought so. You could use his legs as paddle.
Yeah, you could.
I'm going to change that. I might have Luke Shaw, actually. The Luke Shaw fan club. I'll take Luke Shaw as well.
See, I'm not thinking about a raft or anything. I'm just thinking about someone who's just a nice guy and probably a good company. Like someone like Mata, I'm thinking like easy conversation. You can get on with him. Like that's just a nice guy. I wouldn't mind being stranded with Mata. You wouldn't know the raft.
You'd be chatting across the sunset. You'd be like, look at
yeah, probably.
Sunset. Isn't it amazing?
We'll like keep you up with some coconuts or something. Yeah. Imagine us like testing our touch with some coconuts or something. It'd be sound. Get on with Mata. It'd be fine. Yeah, probably Mata or I don't know. Mata or someone like Pogba maybe because I think it'd be quite entertaining, quite funny. Yeah. But again, I think it'd be useless at building a raft.
Yeah, but imagine that you've been there for 12 days, you're slowly starving to death, and Pogba's just there doing the dab. I'd be like, all right, Paul, just calm down. I'm getting a bit anxious now.
To be fair, we can barely build an attack as a whole club, let alone build a raft. Like, it's hard to choose that one. It's a good question. Got us thinking. Definitely not Phil Jones. Definitely not Phil Jones. Nick,
use him on the raft.
What's the question?
Phil Jones. Use him as the raft.
Gotta get some use out of him.
Use him as a raft. That got me. Cavani's going away on holiday. So, which other United player would you give your last Rolo to? So that rules out your answer, Nick. Cavani's on holiday.
It would give me last Rolo to.
Mata. It's got to be Mata for me. He's just a nice guy. I think he would give me his last Rolo. That's fine. I don't know. Because you know Cavani, you're like lost. You're like, I don't know. I'm giving my last Rolo.
Nick would just eat it instead. Just be like, nah, no, I'm having it.
I'd be like, well, I did want a trophy this season, lads. Anyway.
Yeah, he's a gent. I agree.
I don't know. Bruno, because he was crying. I don't know. It's no fun when I can't pick Cavani.
Feel better.
Yeah, have a chocolate, babes. It's all right.
Yeah, it is a metaphor, Curtis, yeah. Zoe said we crack ourselves up, to be fair, Zoe. Like, we laugh at ourselves more than probably you lot are probably in the chat looking at us. Next one, let's have a look. We've got quite a lot. Who was our most memorable guest and why? That's an interesting one. Greg Rutherford has to be up there for me. He does want to come back on, by the way. I talk to him quite regularly, but he does want to come back on. But Greg...
I would have to say a very good friend of mine is up there,
Go on.
Webber.
Yes.
A very good Webby, because obviously since then, like, I've got to know Webby a lot more, and it's just that, I don't know, it was just really nice to get him on the show, because I think we was in lockdown at the time. And obviously I liked his channel that he did with Tony, so Webby was a really good guest. And I think our first ever guest was Phil Brown. He was a good guest.
I'm gonna start and we've had Luke Chadwick on, and it's just more memorable because I was meant to be at training and I had to like say to my manager.
You was in the bloody car, weren't you?
I
remember
was in the
watching
car,
that,
like,
I was my break,
pulled over on the side street, and there were so many comments flying in like, has she broken down? Has she broken down? I was like, no, but I'm meant to be at training right now, and I kind of like had to sneak off and do the interview and then go back up to training afterwards. But it was the comments about has she broken down and just pulled into a lay-by somewhere. But yeah, that's mine.
Yeah, we've had a few. I think Mark, Flex, obviously they were really good interviews as well. But I think for me, Greg, like talking to obviously a gold medalist, it's just, I find it mad. Obviously,
and he was so down to earth.
He loves coming on.
Someone just said in the chat that Nat's were really good guests, and I appreciate that. But Nat isn't a guest; she's one of us.
She's one of us. She's one of us. She's a regular. But yeah, pleasure having Nat on, of course. Nat, did you see any of our shows with a special guest? Obviously,
I think I was involved with the girl from Spurs. That was a really good one. I think I saw a tiny bit of the Greg Rutherford one. That was obviously really good. Just seeing different perspectives. But yeah, I'm just grateful that I've come on and I can be involved in any way you girls want me to be. So yeah, thanks for everyone, and obviously thanks for the comment. But yeah, I'm one now, so it feels good.
You are one indeed. Nat, before we go as well, I want to touch on Casey Stoney. I haven't spoke to you since it happened. Obviously, she's left. I was shocked by it, but I was kind of shocked, but not shocked at the same time. Obviously, there was mutterings that she wasn't happy with what had happened and stuff, but. What do you think United ladies going into next season? Like, how are you feeling? I think we're all a bit like that, to be fair.
Yeah, devastated. I was crying for weeks, just because she's like someone who's like really inspired me. Reason sort of why I'm really big into women's football, why I talk about women's football all the time. Through her starting this team that we had, and obviously the fact that they're not backing her, and she's had to resign. It's just devastating, because I think we was promised all this kind of Man United, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, and then it didn't materialise. Then it's a shock, it's a reality check. I think they will get in a good manager. I'm hearing there's rumours from like Spanish, Italian managers, so it'll be a different vibe. That but yeah, it was just devastating, because I think it's someone who's carried our team, and she was the rock of the team, and for her to have to leave because of not getting the right conditions, and it's something that you hear a lot in women's football, so it's not new, but it's just something you never expected to happen for our team, because sort of for me, I think, why are you bringing it back, why are you bringing back a women's team if they're not going to get supported? And it's just so disappointing. I was devastated.
It is. She's building something really special, wasn't she? You could feel it, like the players were playing for her. Some of the youngsters she got coming through, obviously starting to make these big signings as well. And I just felt like, I don't know, the timing of it was obviously weird as well, but I just hope that United have got a plan in place, and that obviously, like you say, they get a decent manager in, and we can build on what was a positive season, apart from the injuries, obviously, which I think affected us so badly. It was a positive season, and that hopefully, like I say, it isn't too much of a pushback, but definitely a shock for everyone who's associated with United women, obviously the fans and whatnot as well. But yeah, interesting to see what happens next few weeks.
I have got one more question I think is very apt to wrap up this whole season. It's a who said it, but I think it applies to this season as well. So we was talking about chocolates, shock. And one of us says that United is like a box of chocolates, because sometimes you'll get one that's exciting and other times you'll get one and be like, what on earth is that? Who said that?
You, Nicole.
Nick.
Nicole.
Correct. But I just thought I'd say that last, because it was me, because you can just tell by how I speak. But also, I think that is really up this season. I think that was very much how it kind of ended up as well. Again,
definitely. Lawbreaker, I am going to try and do some streams. Obviously, I'll see if any of the ladies are free to do a watch along for an England game at some point. I think that'd be really fun. But yeah, we'll be doing some content through the Euros. I am going to be on Don Robbie's channel as well throughout the Euros as well. He has asked me to do that. So obviously, as always, we'll keep you updated. But Ladies in Red will continue through. We'll still discuss England and whatnot. We'll still keep up with the shows. But yeah, thank you to everybody who's tuned in. George has just popped into the chat. George, thank you. Always see you in the chat as well, tuning in. But thank you to everyone in the chat. I appreciate it. If you are new, please do hit that sub button. We're literally, 14.9 now? So close to 15k. So if you could hit that sub button, I'd really, really appreciate it. Let's get to 15k to celebrate the 1 year. That would be brilliant, wouldn't it? But ladies, it's been an absolute pleasure. Onward and upwards for us, definitely on this channel. Meg, I'll start with you. Thank you so much again for taking the time to come on. As always, a pleasure. Let people know where they can find you as well.
Yeah, thank you to you, Soph, but again, thank you to everybody in the chat, not just for this show, but for the past year, from when this little idea that Soph and I spoke about and up until now, and how it has grown, not just on here, but on Twitter, onto Spotify. But yeah, just a huge thank you for the support throughout the whole progression of this, and to the girls, Nick, Nat, Emma, Zara, all those that support us. Yeah, just a huge thank you to everyone for showing us support and following us to this point, and here's to the next year and beyond that. So a huge thank you, and I'm somewhere below here at Megan Cam with an underscore.
Curlers wants you to do the point. Curlers wants you to do the point.
This way is somewhere here.
That's the one.
Right, and in debt, voting for something.
Yeah, Meg, obviously fantastic as always. Appreciate you coming on, and make sure you go and follow her.
Can I just say
on
about
all the
Meg? So Sophie's very much a face of the channel, but Meg does a lot more than you think as well.
She
believe
does.
me. So big up to Meg, because she's the brains as well. Trust me.
She's more the brains than me, definitely. Meg is the brains, 100%.
Well, I was going to say a pretty face, but I got brains.
It is a bloody pretty face. Don't make me come and knock you out.
Somewhere here.
Yeah, go and actually follow Meg on the socials. Reply to her tweet regarding the England squad as well, and get your suggestions in what 7 players are going to miss out.
I want to know.
Yeah. Nat, as always, an absolute pleasure to get you on. Thank you so much for taking the time, mate. I really appreciate it. And like Nick said earlier, you're one of us, definitely a regular, and always great to have you on. Let people know where they can find you as well, mate.
Yeah, so that's the wrong way. This way. Yeah, Natalie _17. Thanks for having me on. Thanks for, you girls taking me in and making me feel like a regular, and I'm always here to help and give my opinion and just provide in any way I can. And I really appreciate it. You guys support, and you guys, welcome me in. So even though I've not been there from the start, I feel like really part of the family. So I just want to thank all of you girls and everyone in the comments and everyone who replies on Twitter. And, I really appreciate it. So thanks, everyone, for all the support.
Absolute
and yeah,
pleasure.
Natalie _17, whatever way I do it.
That's what Meg's always like. She's like, make sure you go and follow Nat as well on all the socials. A lot of content linking to the women's team as well. So make sure you go and check out Nat's profiles as well. But as always, an absolute pleasure. And last but not least, of course, the lovely Nicole. Nick, thank you so much for, you mentioned about Meg, but obviously your support as well. You mentioned the WhatsApp chat. But yeah, we just off camera as well. We just click, and Nat coming in as well, I think is just added to that. But the dynamism and the fact that we just bounce off each other, I think that literally is what we're like off camera. It's not an act. Yeah. And Nick, you're just real.
I'm not that
you are literally real. You're just real. No, you are clever.
Thanks,
you are clever.
That's
but thank
thanks,
you so much for the support.
I'm a full-time blag merchant. But so I just wanted to say, obviously, thank you to everyone, because not only in the first one did it take a lot for me to come on this channel, but like a lot of people don't know, it took a lot for me to come back on, and a lot of that was through Sophie, Megan, obviously you now, Nat, but I mean there was a lot going on behind the scenes, like for me personally. So thank you so much for being friends, and I found so much strength in seeing yous and seeing how what happens behind the scenes, and like how we might get some negativity and we stick together. So first and foremost, thank you for being friends, because that beats everything else. I feel like I always learn something with you. Thanks for being family. Thanks for a year of always making me laugh, even in lockdown when we were sitting here on our Todd, it still felt like a bit of a night out. And hopefully this summer, if everything goes to plan, we can actually get together and be in the same room, which is going to be weird, not looking at you, like being together. So here's to that. Thanks for everyone joining us on the ride. And if you want to give me a follow, it's where's my hand? Miss Nicole Deans on Twitter. I tried my best to converse the words about the final loss. That's the pinned tweet. Like, I tried my best. I'm sorry. Like, it's just literally the only words I could get out. And here's to next season, and here's to this summer, and things keeping getting better. So yeah, thanks, girls.
Definitely. And one last thank you as well. All the mods in the chat. There's James, Curlers, Doug. Obviously, John's involved in it as well. Yeah, everyone who's a mod in it, if I miss you out, I apologise. I've got so many mods in there now. But thank you to everybody, especially tonight. Obviously, you did a really good job, and you always do a fantastic job. And thanks to everyone in the chat, all the regulars as well. I appreciate it. We will be back with another episode next week, but obviously we'll confirm times and whatnot with you. But until then, guys, keep positive, keep smiling, hit that sub button, hit the like button for all the ladies as well. Make sure you follow me, Soph Richo, as well on socials, and Soph Richo with a kiss on the end on Instagram as well. I've just hit 10k on there, which I'm buzzing with because I can now do a little swipe up, and that's what I wanted to do for ages. Yeah, can do a little swipe up, so I'm buzzing with that. Yeah, but guys, enjoy the rest of your bank holiday, stay positive, and we will see you soon.